Boom, and we're live. Another episode of Elite Encounter. Today we have iMax on this episode. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I like that
Nice.
boom thing. It's like the Costco guy. You got it. You got it locked down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Get it hyped up. So yeah, how I usually like to start these episodes is maybe talk a little bit about ourselves, and then we will slowly progress into Pokemon Unite and get into that sort of thing. So, what can you tell me about yourself?
um, yeah, my name is Max. I'm 18. I live in California. I've lived in the same place my whole life. I've been homeschooled my whole life. I just graduated recently and I'm in a gap year right now. And
Oh,
then I'm thinking of going to college probably. Uh, Unite has played a big part in the reasons why I even took a gap year because I wanted to focus on competing in it and other stuff. But I'm
okay.
thinking I might go to college next year, likely. Probably for something like theater related. I've done a bunch of theater in my school, and that's something that's very interesting to me.
Nice, nice. Um, Usually when I hear gap year, I get the idea that people like that's when they travel the world and explore new places.
No, that's when you spend 8 hours a day playing Pokemon Unite. What do you mean? That's like the whole point. Isn't that what everyone does?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I guess if for you to know a little bit about myself, I grew up not too far from where you are, because you're in California. I grew up in Arizona. Um, and well, long story short, I ended up moving to Europe and started working remotely. And I would consider myself what they might call a digital nomad, but I prefer the term slow travel rather than like digital nomad or just backpacking or traveling or moving all the time. Those aren't really necessarily the best descriptors. So I like to move around, maybe around every year or so. Like right now, I'm in Romania because my family is Romanian. I'm American Romanian, and pretty easy place for me to be. But I would often go also to Bulgaria, specifically Bansko, because it's not too far from Romania, and Bansko is like a ski resort town. There's a lot of people there who work remotely as well, so it's really nice to stay there for the winter season, get a season pass for the ski resort, and hit the slopes as much as possible.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That sounds really fun. Like I said, I've lived in the same, not even the same place. I've lived in the same house my entire life. So
that's crazy.
it's a weird contrast, right? Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You should you should travel more. If
I've
if
never even left the country.
no way, really?
No, I've never left the country. I got my passport this year because we thought we were going to go to UIC, but then actually should have put that on my things not to talk about. I can't say why we're not, but
Okay, okay, no worries. But you do have your passport, which is good. Um,
yeah, but now I have my passport.
that's good, that's good. Well, see, the real strategy here is to try to get a remote job, because if you can have a remote job, then I know that California isn't necessarily the cheapest place to live. Um, and if you go to Europe, there's a lot of places that are a lot cheaper. Like the cost of living can be much, much lower. Specifically, like Bulgaria, Romania. That's why Bansko is a really good option. A lot of remote workers go there because it's like way cheaper, and either you work less hours so you don't have to work 40 hours per week to meet your expenses, or you have more money saved up afterwards. So it's not bad. And actually, a lot of Americans do this. They come 3 months in Bansko because that's the visa limit, 90 days. So they come for
Yeah.
90 days in Bansko. They go snowboarding, skiing, and their work schedule is pretty much like um, they ski in the morning because that's the best time to go skiing and snowboarding, and then they work in the evenings. So it could work. It could work.
Yeah.
The only thing is you gotta find a remote job. But maybe playing Pokemon Unite competitively can be your remote
I
job, huh?
know what you're talking about. Work in the evenings. That's the Pokemon Unite time. Like you can't.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's when you have to play play like 5 hours of Pokemon Unite in your day. Like you can't skip that step.
Well, if you can find a way to get paid to play, then you're covered, no?
That's true.
Yeah.
You can find a way to get paid a livable salary to play Pokemon Unite.
Well,
Very realistic.
there are other options, like volunteering, for example. I did some volunteering where essentially you go and you work maybe 20 hours a week and they provide accommodation. It depends where you do it and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, if you don't have to pay for accommodation, some of them even provide you food. And if you work only 20 hours a week, then you'll have time to do other stuff like training for Pokemon Unite.
Yeah. I know a lot of Unite players do actually have normal jobs too, though, so it's not that detracting.
Yeah, but I don't know. AI is gonna take all our jobs anyway, so
Hell yeah.
so yeah, leading up to Unite, did you play any other MOBA games or was this your
No,
first one?
my introduction to Unite is kind of funny. What happened was was playing TCG, the trading card game for Pokemon. Um, I played it competitively for a while, and then I quit playing it a few months before Unite release. About um, just because I wasn't having much fun with it anymore. And one of my friends from TCG, I still played it like casually and stuff, and hung out with all my friends and whatever. One of my friends from TCG was like, they're making a Pokemon MOBA. It's like League of Legends, but for Pokemon. And I was like, ew. I've heard only negative things about that game.
Yeah,
But
League.
Pokemon? And then he begged me to play it for like a few weeks after the release. And then eventually I gave in once. And then I was like, this is kind of fun. And then I kept playing it with him more and more. And the funny part is, he played Unite before even playing League. Uh, my good friend Jacob, shout out, Iron Blade. Um, he played Unite before ever playing League, and he went down the reverse pipeline where playing Unite got him into playing League,
Wow. Well, I
which is a weird. But
there's a lot of parallels there, you know, obviously it's a MOBA.
yeah,
But in my opinion, I mean, I used to play a lot of League back in the day and I played like all of the MOBAs. I've tried them all pretty much. Even from like the OG MOBA games like Dota 1. um, I like Unite because it's a lot more simple. Like, and they changed the system so instead of having to just destroy towers and destroy the base, it's a score-based system. And I personally, I find that much better for this kind of genre.
yeah, no, I like Unite a lot. I hate when people are like, Unite is a bad game because it just takes me off because I'm like, Unite is such a good game. I love it. It's the best game.
I think it's good,
But
but
everyone
it's not in the
everyone who plays
best.
Unite is like, Unite is a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are bothered by the current situation of the game right now because of their monetization strategies and the Unite journey and
Yeah.
yeah. I personally I'm not a big fan of that Unite journey, but it doesn't influence me at all because I already have all of them unlocked. So
Same. I haven't had to think about that like more than once.
yeah. I mean, I've been playing since release, so yeah.
Yeah, same.
So I
Release.
sorry, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say release was a fun time because I was a one trick Cramorant stuck in Vet 4 for the whole season.
Oh jeez. What was I
Hard
playing back
stuck
then?
Vet 4.
Oh, I think I started about by spending a lot of time on Blastoise and Charizard, and then I decided I'm just gonna main Azumarill. So I played Azumarill nonstop. Like I just got ridiculously good with that one Pokemon. And so it was easy for me to rank up when you're just like one tricking something like that. But the problem is Azumarill is not very competitively viable. So
That is true.
So it's not really. It doesn't have a lot of value in this current meta. I'm hoping that they'll do something to it because the last time they did anything to Azumarill, they lowered the evolution level and the level that he gets his moves at, I think. But that was forever ago. So,
No, yeah.
sorry, I keep cutting you off. I think there's a little bit of a delay,
No, no, no.
but that's because
You should go. We're
you're in America and I'm in Europe, so there's a bit of a delay. But we'll make it
maybe.
work. So your main role is tank, right?
Yeah, I played tank for the roster. I was initially an attacker player, and then I was when I first got into competitive, I was starting a team with like just some friends of mine, and one of them was also an attacker player, and I was like, "Don't worry about it, I'll play tank." And then that's where I got my practice, and it stuck.
So what's your most played tank?
Tree Trevenant.
The tree, huh?
Yeah.
I'm also the tank player for my team, and my most played tank is Blastoise and then Umbreon. What are your top three? So you have Tree.
Tree, Crustle, and I think Umbreon is number 3 on most played tanks.
Okay.
My third most played Mon is Cramorant because of the season 1 days.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm kind of in the same situation. Like my number one most played is Blastoise, which only recently overtook Azumarill.
yeah,
And then my number three is Umbreon, I'm pretty sure. And then I don't know after that, maybe Charizard. I don't know. But I actually have a question about Crustle since it's one of your top three. Like right now, everyone is like crazy about Crustle in this meta. But there has been no like changes, no patches on Crustle. Nothing really has changed. Can you help me understand like what's going on? Why is everyone all about it?
that's a good question. I think somewhat people are not I don't agree with being all about Crustle entirely. I think it's a very good Mon right now, but I think there are like Lax and Umbreon are probably like slightly better. I think a lot of people like Crustle right now because it's very like it puts a lot of control to you. Like as a Crustle, you kind of get to do a lot of things like walls with the wall and with X Scissor and the stuff. You can be a hard engage one. You have really good peel. You can like set up around objectives and like have really good positional value. I think that the Mon right now is weirdly people are figuring out that the concept of the Mon is really broken, but that it's actually kind of undertuned in the skills and stuff because of how good the concept is already.
Yeah,
They've
but
like
it pretty
been
much has only
slowly
one
working
viable
down on
move set, right? The wall and X scissor.
it. Yeah, pretty much. If it were up to me, I think there's niche shell smash games, but yeah, no, pretty much.
What are those niche situations? I'm curious. My team wants me to play more
Okay,
Crustle.
so if you're playing
Triple dive.
triple dive, you want to be, and you want to run at them, and you also happen to lock in Crustle, and and you can just shell smash with your 3 dive, and then you can actually like set up an X scissor somewhat easier
Yeah.
to get people to like smack them. It's good.
Okay, but you still go X scissor. What's the other move
Yeah,
called again?
stealth rocks.
Stealth
There are
rocks.
also stealth rocks games, but that's not my specialty. Stealth rocks games are for the dirty flippers out there.
I see. Okay.
Stealth rocks games are for the teams that counterpick Rayquaza.
For counterpicking Rayquaza. So that they can flip it?
Yeah, and then you go fluffy tail stealth rocks and flip it.
Interesting. I mean, with this UCS format, a lot of teams are forced
Yeah,
to play Rayquaza on like match 3, right?
yeah.
Do you think you'll ever see a Shell Smash? Wait, would it be Shell Smash or would it be Rock Tome with Stealth Rock?
Um, people do both. Shell Smash is the best for objective damage because it boosts your damage, and but Rock Tomb is better for playing the rest of the match,
Yeah,
usually. So people will play the Shell Smash Stealth Rocks build, kind of like just run around the map, try and see if they can do a single thing, or like take a piece of farm from the enemy, or get a cap somewhere, or like do have a single piece of use before objectives spawn.
yeah.
Whereas the other one that you can kind of like play it like it's a normal tank with the rock wall. So it just depends.
And what would the items be? So you said Fluffy Tail and the held items?
Yeah. Um I think usually you'll go like depending on comps, if they're triple special attack, no, but like usually you'll go like Rocky Helmet for just ulting on objective with helmet, and then you'll go like Focus probably for most of the game. Maybe not Focus. And then I think if you're going the full objective rip with Shell Smash, a lot of people go attack weight to to rip it faster.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't run Focus Band, you do okay, attack weight, Rocky Helmet, and
Yeah, I'm just making this up on the spot. I
oh,
don't
what the
play
heck?
this. I don't play this build.
I'm
I'm
thinking something that
imagining what
gives
I
you
would
move
go.
speed. I don't know, like Floatstone
Yeah, maybe
maybe
float.
or XP
Float
share.
gives you attack as well. It's not horrible with the Shell Smash one.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if you're running around a lot, maybe XP share could be good. So you'd have
Ooh,
triple
you
attackers.
should, yeah. You should probably play XP.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
so you have those triple attackers, the troll Crustle build, and then maybe what, like a Sableye?
Yeah, get that score lead neutralized so that you can flip it. Play like Dragonite Crustle to secure the flip, and then like score comp to make sure that you're not behind enough that the flip doesn't matter, and then win.
And then just win, easy. So,
Professional advice from someone who has never tested that.
yeah, but to be honest, like I love experimenting in Pokemon Unite and trying some off-meta builds and
Yeah,
strategies. I don't know about, is that something you like doing as well?
yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I found someone that loves to do that. I feel like most people don't.
you gotta try slapping EXP share on Tinkaton right now. That's my favorite cook.
Bro, I've been running XP share on Tinkaton since it was released.
Oh shoot. I've been running it since it was released too, but then I stopped because it was bad, and then I started again when the EXP share change happened because the EXP change with Tinka EXP share so much better than before.
So what makes it better
I
now
swear.
than before?
Well, now a lot of people don't have XP share, but also you get the you don't nerf your own level getting from like farm and stuff by putting on EXP share, so you can get the passive XP in the early game and still get big by farming in the late game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason. Is like in the early game you can go get your 60 stacks for the first like 5 minutes and be underleveled, and then your XP share will get you up to your team's level.
Yeah.
And then once you're here at your team's level at 5 minutes, then you can start taking farm and actually get higher.
See,
And now you're actually just over leveled.
the way that you're explaining XP share right now is exactly my logic that I had when I was running XP share on all these weird Pokemon like Tinkaton. except
That's
the,
like my whole thing.
except the only difference that because of the old way it worked was that you had to, like, mid to late game, you had to farm by yourself so that you don't give the farm experience to your
Yeah.
allies. Which is why I ran XP share. You want to hear who else I ran XP share on?
Yeah.
So I ran XP share on Charizard. I ran XP share on Titar. And Mewtwo X.
I've had an EXP share teaser. That's an amazing one. Yeah.
for the same logic that you just, like, the way you explained it,
Yeah.
is just so good. Like I don't know why I was never able to explain it like that, but essentially for that reason, that was the logic. But maybe now, based on what you're saying, it would work better now. Anyway, so when you run XP share on Tinkaton, what's the rest of the build and what moveset?
Yeah. Well, when I do it personally, I go like Focus Band, Rocky Helmet, or some tank stuff because I'm playing it tank. I think that that's not actually that good, but that's just my role, so I play it like that. What I would recommend is playing it actually as a carry with the XP share and going like carry items, like probably like uh I don't know what Tinka carry runs, but whatever that is with the EXP share,
Attack weight maybe.
that would probably be how it's actually. I could see that being how it's best played in comp, but
And which battle item? Maybe X speed
I would run eject for like just flash engage.
or
I
that.
like that a lot.
Yeah. And then for the
Um,
moveset, would you run hammer?
yeah, I would run hammer. I think if you're going SmackDown, there's no need for the EXP share because you get your stacks really easily regardless, so you can just farm the whole game.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going, if it's a SmackDown game, you can just pivot off of EXP share and it's fine. And then if it's a hammer game, playing EXP share works.
Okay. And I'm assuming thief as well.
Thief. Yeah, you can go either one. I play Thief because I've always played Thief because that's what was good before. But the Ice Hammer buffs make it pretty good. It's probably playable. You definitely could pick that as well.
Okay, nice. You know, I've been cooking a lot recently with a build, but it wasn't a tank build. It was an attacker build with Mewtwo Y. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
So every time I run this build, people jump into my Discord and message me to change it or to not run it. But essentially, it's obviously Mewtwo Y with what's the special attack stacking ring called again? Drive lens?
Yeah.
Yeah, drive lens and choice scarf with potion. And then for the move set, I do side strike and recover.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Potion recover. That kind of makes sense. I don't remember. I don't remember what recover does, Loki, because nobody plays it. So,
Yeah, well,
but
on Mewtwo Y, what it does is gives you a little shield and increases your move speed a little bit. And I think when you reach level 13, it also gives you some HP recovery on your attacks. But if you still have the shield, like if it wasn't destroyed, then it increases your mega gauge by a small amount. So it helps you be in your mega evolution when you go into fights.
that's good.
Yeah.
I
The
you
main
gotta
problem
you gotta have mega moves.
yeah, the main problem with this build
I'll
is that
tell
you
you.
just yeah, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
I just want to circle back really quickly because I figured out how to explain even more about why it's better now with the EXP share compared to before. Because before, when you're playing EXP share on a mon like Tinkaton or Titar, what happens is you're getting put up to your team's level when you're like running it down in lane or doing whatever to try and get value. But you'll get put up to your team's level at like 4.5 or something, and you're not getting farm that much. So you'll take a piece of farm at like 4.5 with your team, and it'll barely bump you up, and then you'll just be stuck on like the evolution spikes, right? That was the problem. Like you'll be 6, you can be 6.5, take a piece of farm with your teammate, and then I'm still at like 6 and 3/4 or something. Like, come on. But now you can like get the passive XP to get up to those markers, and then also the EXP share doesn't prevent you from getting like the actual chunk of XP to get you over the marker into your next evolution, so you can start getting passive XP again.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mm. Yeah, start cooking more. That's my take personally. This is my hot take on Unite right now. Carries should be playing XP share. There should be a lot of carry players playing XP share.
Whoa, whoa,
I think
whoa, whoa,
that it is
careful.
not only a tank and support item anymore.
Carry should be running XP share. That's a crazy hot take, bro. For that same logic that you
Yep.
explained before?
Yeah, I think just whoever. This is my current thought, and this is my current thought somewhat, and it is a little bit cook. It might not. I don't play this way in either of my teams. I play for both LuneX and LuneX Academy. I don't play. I'm not like. But a way that I think could work to play the game that I've said before is like you have an early game XP share. This is someone who is stacking. Someone like your top laner, maybe. Someone who's stacking, who needs to, or invading, or is going to go get value. If you have a guy who's a carry, or not a carry, whoever, who like wins the level 1, send them to go invade. Like Dodrio invade used to be so troll. Talon invade used to be so troll because it's carry. You can't invade on carry unless you're playing XP share. And then send your Talon to go invade. It's fine. And then like, or your guy who needs to int for stacks, instead of being like, okay, try and get your stacks, but like if you don't get them, it's okay. Just die for it. You're XP share. It's fine. And then, so that's your early game XP share, right? Is the person who gets the passive XP in the early game. I think after that, you have like a tank or support or someone. Once the levels like more so get to that parity level, these guys stop farming. So they will start getting the passive XP by going like and being in the spot for vision and doing like normal XP share things while your carries are back to farming. But having XP share on like an early game XP share just allows you to not play the early game for farm, especially if you have like a tanker support who benefits from it, from having the farm.
Yeah.
And you're not even limiting yourself. That's the good thing, because you can still farm and scale late game.
Yeah. I see. And it kind of aligns with the concept of XP share, because if you play the mainline Pokemon games, what you would do is you put XP share on your lowest level Pokemon so that it can become strong. And I don't know, maybe something that is not very strong early on or whatever, it's a new party member or whatever. And it kind of aligns better with that kind of logic.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope someone else does that, because I don't intend on convincing 4 other people to play that way. But
Yeah, that's the
but it
problem I
would be
noticed
fun.
when you're cooking in
Yeah.
Unite and you play one of these builds, people get tilted. Man, they get so tilted. And like back in the day when I was running XP share on Mewtwo X, people would get tilted hardcore. Like in the matches, I can see them running around in circles and just going AFK because of that build. Like the frequency at which people did that was very high when I ran that build. But then guess what happened? Like someone ran XP share Mewtwo X in a tournament. I don't know, maybe UCS or something. And literally the day after that, nobody else got tilted. And nobody else would ever get tilted. And I was just like, what the heck? This is really like that's
Yeah.
what it takes. I like to compare it to like an analogy where it's like, are you a cook or a chef in Unite? A cook is like someone who follows the recipe and follows the instructions on the recipe. Like they go online, they look at the builds, the strategies, the playstyle, and they just do that to win, to make like a good end product, which in this case is winning a game. A chef would be someone who understands the individual ingredients, the way they interact with each other, the core components, the chemical reactions between the ingredients in the food, and experiment all the time to make unique dishes, or in this case, unique builds and playstyles. The problem is, if
It's
you're
really good. That's such a good comparison, because that's literally how I am with real life cooking.
yeah,
I'm like,
but the
I
thing
gotta
is,
experiment. I gotta figure out what.
if you're
Yeah.
experimenting, there's a chance that what you make is not going to be good, and that's okay.
Most of the time.
Exactly, most of the time. Exactly, most of the time. So maybe that's the thing. Like most of the time, it's not going to be good, but then when you do hit that one thing that is good, you're like, ah, this is great.
Yeah.
And I
I can't
posted.
believe it's. I came up with this. This is my thing.
I know. And then
Yeah.
other people start playing it. You see in a tournament, and then nobody gets tilted, and you're like, this was me. I did this from the beginning.
Yeah.
Man, people like I'm in all these communities, all these Discord channels for Pokemon Unite, and over the course of like the whole time that I've been playing Unite, I've been talking about this situation that we were talking about, and people are like, "Oh no, it's not. You're not even that good," or maybe it was just they're doing it for different reasons. And like I've heard every excuse under the sun. Like this Mewtwo Y build that I told you about. One of my like we have a coach on our team, and he was watching me while I was playing it. He's like, maybe you're just really good, or maybe the Pokemon is just really good, or like literally anything except that maybe the build can work.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit more about your experience in competitive Unite. You play for LuneX Gaming.
Yeah.
How high did you guys get in your tournaments? How far did you make it?
Um. So it's a pretty interesting situation. I'll explain how I ended up playing with LuneX Gaming in the Pro League. So what happened is I have a team, at the beginning of the season, I played with a team that is now the LuneX Academy team, uh, which we were formerly called the Goofy Goobers.
What is the LuneX
Then we got
Academy
picked up.
team? Really quick.
Like who?
I mean, what's the difference between a LuneX team and a LuneX Academy team?
So the LuneX team is the one in the Pro League that plays that and has like the 5 people, and then the Academy team is just a team in like the second highest league in America.
So would it be something like varsity and junior varsity?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that's a good
But
strategy.
um, yeah, but I played with the Academy team because before any of that, we were called Goofy Goobers. Then we got offered by LuneX Gaming, and we became LuneX Gaming. And we played the open qualifiers, and we didn't make it into the Pro League. So, I was just like, okay, no Pro League, whatever. I was pretty confident going in. I think that roster definitely could have made it. If you reran the turn, whatever. Everyone will say that about their team. You know how it is, right?
Yeah.
I think if we got another shot, we'd have good odds. But that's not how esports works. You don't get
Yeah.
another shot. So, um, then there was a team that did qualify called Scripted, and Pokemon reached out to LuneX Gaming, um, about sponsoring a roster, um, for the Pro League because they were looking for people to sponsor the qualified teams, um, from the Open qualifier, and LuneX was like, yeah, and then they chose to sponsor this team called Scripted. And what happened to happen at the same time is that the Scripted guys. So how it works is that you have 5 people and a substitute for the league, and you're allowed to play the Open qualifier with only 5 people, no sub, and just choose a sub afterwards. And so what happened is they had a 5-man roster, and they had already selected, or they already asked me to come sub for them in the Pro League before the whole LuneX Gaming thing happened, which I happened to already be a part of the organization, so it worked out very well.
Nice.
And then I came on as their substitute, and then I got switched to main roster for reasons.
For being good at the game. Nice, nice. That's a fun story. My story when it comes to competing isn't as
Yeah.
exciting. Because I mentioned before how I like to travel and stuff, and the problem with that is sometimes I stay in a place where the internet is not the best. So one of the reasons I played Blastoise so much was because if you play Rapid Spin and Water Spout, you don't have to press a lot of buttons. So if you have a little bit of lag, if you're playing on Orange Pink, it doesn't affect you as much, you know? So so I was living in a place that didn't have the best Wi-Fi, and I played a lot of Blastoise for that reason. But now, I've been living in another place that has amazing Wi-Fi, and I've been playing a lot more Pokemon that requires those, where you can take advantage of that fast Wi-Fi. So I played a lot of Blaziken, for example, or what else did I play? I don't know, just a lot of Blaziken because of that. Because it's one of those
Yeah.
Pokemon I wanted to play for a long time, but I just get so frustrated when I have a delay and my ability doesn't go off. Like that fifth hit doesn't go off for you to heal. and stay alive doesn't happen because you don't use your aerial ace, and then you just die early game, and then everything sucks.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of people like that
Yeah,
who like hate playing on ping.
I hate it so much. Like, I was thinking after this podcast, it would be nice to play a few matches of Unite, but on the other hand, one of us is gonna have some lag.
Yeah. West Coast NA to EU.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
If I was East, I've played EU in houses before though, and that's kind of fun. It's not bad. Like the problem is the only reason I actually don't do that is because of the not the ping but the time because it's in the morning.
Oh
I'm like
yeah, it's in the
wake
morning
up.
for you.
I wake up, sleep in my eyes, in-house ping. Maybe.
So what time would it be
you
for
know.
you when they're playing in houses at?
It's usually like 9 or 10 in the morning,
Oh, that's
which is also around when
fine.
I get up.
That's fine. Just get up an hour earlier, go for a walk outside. You'll be good to go. To be honest, I found that if I have the time to play in the morning or midday, not only do I play better, but I think the people that I play with also play better because I notice that they make better decisions. I win more games. I think it has to do with willpower because at the end of the
Yeah.
night, you're usually maybe more tired. You don't have as much willpower. It's harder to make decisions. You've already made lots of decisions throughout the day,
Yeah.
so you're not going to make ideal decisions in your matches. Um, I don't know.
Which
That's
is
just
why I have a recommendation for you. Sorry to cut you off, but
go for it.
I
Yeah.
want to jump in here. I have a recommendation for you, based on an experience that I had yesterday. Don't stream the game for 6 hours before your scrims. You will play worse in scrims.
Yes, I know that's true. And I also stream, but the way I stream, I'm not really doing it to entertain. My priority
Yeah.
is to stream so that I have something like what I call like an open door policy, where someone can see that I'm online, I'm playing ranked, they can, put a message in my chat if they want to queue up together or whatever really. But like I don't usually have the microphone on for the streams. And when
Yeah.
I do, I'm only communicating with my team. And part of the value in having the stream from me is like also accountability because somewhere in the back of my mind, I know that anyone and everyone could be watching the stream at any moment. So I don't want to embarrass myself and play bad, you know? It's almost like
Exact
perform
opposite.
sorry?
I'm the exact opposite. The things I've done on stream are not not good, but
Well,
I'm not taking it down.
yeah. I mean, I know I've done that stuff too.
No,
But
I'm not like toxic or anything. Like just like making a fool of myself type of things.
yeah, exactly. But that's exactly where the value is
Yeah.
too. Because when you make a fool of
No,
yourself, you can go back, you can watch your VOD because I have mine to automatically publish. You can go back and you can watch it, and so can anyone else. And you can feel
yeah.
that pain again. But I think that's part of the process you need to go through if you want to improve, reviewing your VODs. And if you make it as easy as possible to do that, then you're more likely to do that and you're more likely to improve. So that's my thought process to like lower the barrier to entry to reviewing the VODs so that I can improve. And it's actually come in handy many times because I was playing scrims with my team and I kind of snapped at one of my teammates. He was making a lot of shot calls, but more like micromanaging, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was just like, "Dude, can you like chill?" and
Yeah.
and one of the people on our Discord channel asked to watch the VOD so he can listen to the communication, and it made it really easy because I didn't have to process the video, I didn't have to record it. I just sent him a link from Twitch that was already done, you know.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I am a fan of streaming scrims, especially like I stream all the scrims from the LuneX Academy team. I don't stream the main LuneX scrims because they don't want me to, but and that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. But the I really think that there should be more competitive teams willing to share like more of it, because when I look at it, like think about this is coming from NA point of view. I don't know if you, but think about like Team YT back in the day and like these other teams that were actually willing to put that out there. As a person who is just getting into Unite competitive, that's exactly what I wanted to see
Yeah.
more of. And so me doing that, I think in some ways back to those people and more people doing that. I just think more people need to be more sharing. I think I'm more of a region, like I think NA, I speak from this again from an NA point of view. NA is too concerned about competing with each other right now. Like I don't care about that. If you stream your scrims and I stream my scrims, we're both gonna get better because of it. I'll watch yours, you'll watch mine. We'll have it's it's better that way, but because the first guy to turn it off gets an advantage, it's like nobody wants to turn it on, you know? Because
Yeah.
there's always gonna be the people who have it off.
Of
And they're always
course.
gonna have an advantage over you, but that's okay in my book.
And when you're streaming it, are you also streaming the comms that you're having with your
Yeah,
teams? Same,
yeah.
same. I agree with you 100%. And I think like there are some mental mind games you can play with these streams, because if you repeatedly show that you're trying to play a specific comp, you can pull out something that you don't do often and surprise the people who, you know, watch your streams and will compete against you. And you can do something unexpected, because then they might expect you to do a specific strategy because you talked about it and did it a lot in your streams. But then when you actually play the match, you can pull out something unexpected. So there's some mental mind games I think that we can do there.
Yeah.
And I want to think that that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm conditioning the people watching my stream to think that I'm gonna play Mewtwo Y with this with this build. But yeah, I think it's
And then
also
they're right when you are gonna play it.
maybe, but I think that's not really the real reason. It's probably what they say, but in my opinion, I think the real reason is that most people are afraid of being judged. Like they're afraid of showing that they're losing or that they lose, and if you stream, you cannot really hide it. So it's like one of those things where you have to get comfortable with showing your mistakes and your imperfections.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because it develops the kind of character you need and the mindset you need to take feedback and to actually implement the improvements rather than just trying to make excuses and let your ego speak.
For sure. I think a lot of that mentality comes from, for me at least, comes from like a theater and like improv background where you're, especially like in the homeschool and other stuff that I have, is like, now that you think about it, now that you say that, it reminds me that like my entire life I have been told that it is okay to like make mistakes. In improv, the one rule that you're told is that the one thing that you're not allowed to do is not say anything, right? You have to just do something. It's whatever it is, it's a it's good that you're just, as long as you're doing something, it's good, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think that's a really interesting parallel because I also used to be like on a semi-professional dance team when I was living
Yeah.
in the US, and we would go and we would perform in front of like kind of big crowds. Actually, we kind of traveled throughout the US. We were on TV
Yeah.
once or twice. I don't remember. Um, and I think that the skills you develop when you are performing has actually a lot of parallels with
Yeah.
Unite, because when you're playing in a match, when you're playing on in a tournament, you are performing, you know? So
Yeah, I agree.
I think when you're streaming, you're you're putting yourself into the practice mode of what you would be like if you are performing, not just practicing. Because like when I was on the dance team, we would obviously practice a lot, but in the back of your mind that it's just practice, nobody's watching, and it's okay to make mistakes. But when you know that you're performing on stage in front of a crowd, in front of TV, you have these different nerves that are affecting you. But like if you're streaming all the time, in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, that anyone can watch and see your mistakes, kind of like as if you're performing nonstop. And
Yeah.
I think that's good because then you just get used to it. And I see this so much with even the best teams. I'm like, they make some really basic mistakes, and it makes me wonder, could it be because they're they're like performing under pressure and they're getting nervous for that?
Yeah, I think that's probably what some of it is. I think another part of why the best teams make like simple mistakes is just because like everyone does, because what you don't realize is how much better like every small thing that they're doing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'd think, oh, I could have done that better, and you could have played that interaction better actually. But the entire like 9 minutes and 50 seconds of the rest of the game is like completely different, and that's what I think is really fun. Is like that's another one of my things that I try and do is like staying open minded to people, because the truth is, as someone who even like I've done a little bit of coaching before, a little bit of stuff like this, what you can learn from literally anybody. That's the You don't have to learn from someone better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I think something that a lot of people also will just like discredit a lot of ideas because they come from like people below them who they consider to be worse or who whatever.
Who haven't reached the top
Whereas
ranks and top UCS rankings or whatever. Like when I
yeah,
tell them about my unorthodox builds, they're like, "No, it's bad," and they don't even try it, you know. But you're right, because
yeah,
like when I was trying those unorthodox builds, something I learned from people that were definitely worse was that you have to take into account the mental of the team. So even if that build could be good, it does damage, it brings value. If your teammate does not see value and they play worse because of that, it inherently makes that build bad. But not because it's bad, but because the way
yeah.
they perceive it, you know?
Unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is. And you know what? I was playing with a lot of players with a lot of these unorthodox builds, and some of them I could see like they would play significantly worse because I played with them many times together and like in houses and stuff like that. But
yeah,
other players, they would they would just go with the flow. They would roll with it. And that's how I know like who's a really good player and who's not, because there's an element of trust as well. I remember
yeah,
I remember one specific moment where I saw a Gardevoir that had a crit attack build. Like I was like, what is this
yeah,
Gardevoir doing? Like it had scope lens and I don't know what, like attack speed items or something. And it was actually, it worked because Gardevoir has a lot of range on the auto attack, and I don't know how they made it work, but they made it work.
yeah.
I guess there
Shout
is some
out.
logic there because your your abilities will prevent your opponents from reacting, or maybe they will expect you to just use your abilities and not actually auto attack. But
Yeah,
it worked. It worked. We won that match, and I said, "All right, this is a lesson to me. Like I just need to trust my players, no matter how bad the builds are, and just go with the flow and see what happens. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's not, but
yeah, definitely. Don't if I'm ever on Gardevoir though, don't trust me. My Gardevoir is something to be examined.
well, maybe you should try that crit attack build.
I don't think that's gonna save it. My playstyle on Guardy is flank Gardevoir. It's OP.
Oh, is it the one where you have to run a score shield and a that score battle item, whatever it's
No,
called?
no, no. I go normal Gardevoir items with eject button. The plan is to go around, get behind everyone, and then flash ult. It never works, but if that worked, it'd be pretty good.
Well, I can see the vision.
I
Like,
also played that like twice, so
okay, okay. Well,
to be fair.
you need a bigger sample size to see if it works or not.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing
Maybe I
about
should slap on the XP share. That will save it.
maybe slap on XP share, and while you're at it, slap on that crit items.
Yeah, scope lens.
Yeah, scope lens and whatnot. Man, I'm so happy that I'm actually talking to someone that's open-minded about this kind of stuff, because literally almost everyone else I've talked to, like I tell them,
Yeah,
I have another build that I really like to rock. Blaziken with Big Root, double stacking, and potion.
that's
And
good.
yeah.
I know people who run that build. What the heck?
Well, I don't know. The thing about it is that, yeah, you don't do as much damage, so your secure is not as good. But the logic is that the problem with the normal Blaziken build where you just go for damage is that you're pretty squishy. And you can't really take advantage of your passive where you can get 5 hits on an opponent to actually heal. And if you want to take it, if you want to be more likely to do that, you got to be alive. So you got to play something tanky. And especially with Big Root, it increases the amount of healing you get from it too. And man, I've had so many games where I did like literally like 150k damage given, damage taken, and 100k healed. Like crazy numbers.
It's good. I actually do really like that build. I've had I don't play it, but I know like actually that's some of my like the LuneX Academy players have messed around with that. Seotomi.
Yeah.
Seotomi's a fun character. He's like I like that guy. But yeah, the Big Root thing, it's like also great counter pick into Phalanx. Think about that. If you ever get Blaziken into Phalanx, put on the Big Root, man.
I mean, Phalanx changes everything. Everything gets countered. Everything counters Phalanx.
Everything counters Phalanx.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's one of my things actually. You know what's like OP but nobody does it because it's really bad? Which sounds counterintuitive. Tank Phalanx. You gotta try that out. The problem with tank Phalanx in competitive is that Phalanx is a really, really good tank. Strong. It has everything you need from a tank. But you don't want to last pick tank. That's the problem. It's because you're holding your tank pick to the 5 slot, and you're like, wow, do I really want to hold tank to 5? And then maybe it's not even a Phalanx game.
Well,
But if you forget about that, it's really good in the tank slot. Like I genuinely like you go Iron Head no retreat, and it's basically like Heavy Slam because you Iron Head in and then you push. It's like a mix between Tree and Snorlax kind of.
interesting.
And
Interesting.
the ult resets it, so you go combo, ult, combo.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. And there's another layer there too. I mean, if you first pick Phalanx, everyone on the enemy team.
I've been down this road, my friend.
No, but hear me out.
I've been down that road.
Hear me out. Hear me out. So
It's actually okay if Lucario's banned. Lucario's the only one that's unmanageable. Everything else,
okay,
you can use it as bait.
but yeah, use it as bait. Like first pick Phalanx, let them build their whole comp around countering Phalanx, and then run XP share tank Phalanx.
Good. I did that in a comp game once.
How did it go?
We did. Oh my god, wait, I need to tell you about this draft. Okay, this was with the Academy team in the Challengers Rise before UCS qualifiers. So what we did was it was when Mega Lucario was broken, right? So we were first we were first pick. And you know how the two Lucarios are right next to each other? We banned something normal. Then we were hovering Mega Luca for like 23 seconds or however long the timer is. And then we instructed our guy to make it look like he mispicked normal Lucario at the very end. Like he slid it over to the normal one to ban normal Lucario. And then we last banned Mega Lucario, so it looks like we were just correcting it. And then on like the 2-3 slot, we came in with the Phalanx pick. They went like Venusaur Blaziken or something. And I think I went Shed Doll that game to like kind of dodge some. Actually, I don't think that works on Venusaur. I don't think I did that. I think I went like Eject or something. Anyway, I went to invade the Venusaur because he doesn't win until Giga Drain, and we kind of like just built a comp around stomping Venusaur Blaziken because we basically counterpicked the draft early because we knew what they were gonna go. We literally like had counters into Venusaur Blaziken, like these kind of mons, like already, and then we made them pick into counter picks
They walked right into
because
your
of the
trap.
Phelan. It was so. That's one of my favorite games, actually. Thank you for reminding me. I've actually played that in a comp game. Yeah,
That's really
I've
fun.
played that one in a comp game.
But I can already hear the coaches in my head. They're like, "Nah, the good players are gonna play around it. They're gonna see it happening, etc., etc. You're just gonna get stomped
Yeah,
anyway." But I think that's one of those things. You just gotta experiment, try different things, and that's a one of those other things that there. It's not just like about the Pokemon you choose and the draft. It's also about the mind games you can play, and I think that's the thing
yeah,
in tournaments is that behind the scenes we don't see a lot of what's happening. Like when they're not playing the matches, maybe the members of the teams are talking to each other. They're maybe playing mind games there. You see this in other sports, like boxing, for example. Before a big match, one of the boxers might post on social media and talk shit about each other and stuff like that.
yeah.
And then at the match itself, they have to like do the thing where they look each other in the eyes or whatever, intimidation and stuff like that. There's all these layers, and even during the actual match, the boxing match, they will fake a punch or fake a whatever so that they have to defend against that, and then they throw something else. So there's all these tactics and all these
Yeah,
layers in competitive environments that people should be taking into account, like exactly what you described.
that was part of it as well. The mental game was also part of that game because two of the people on that team, specifically the ones who are counterpicking Phalanx, were two former teammates of mine who used to get upset at me for playing Phalanx, right? So at the same time, you see the Phalanx locked in, and you're like, to them, it's like, okay, I know what to do because that's what they used to tell me. They're like, they're just gonna play counters, they're gonna play Venusaur, they're gonna play Blaziken, you'll never be valuable in the game, you know what I mean? And then when they see that, I know exactly what they're gonna do. I know the mind game. I know that's what you told me was gonna counter me.
Yep.
So I'm ready for it now. You know what I mean? Like that's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what.
exactly. That's kind of the logic that I have with a lot of this other stuff too. Because like with Mewtwo Y, you know that what I'd like to do actually is first pick Mewtwo Y, and
Yeah.
and of course the enemy team is gonna pick some stuff that counters Mewtwo Y. And I'm like, don't worry, I got this. Like I played enough matches to know like which characters can one shot it or not. And it's such a strong bait because what happens is their speedster comes in, tries to one shot you, but you have a potion and you have recover and you don't die, and they're way overextended, and then they die. And you
You know
didn't
what? You
expect
know
it.
what? You should tell me the Mewtwo I built again. I'm gonna for. I'll tell my attacker on LuneX Academy to
Okay,
try it
but
out.
there's a
I think he'll
disclaimer.
like that.
There's a disclaimer. You have to
Yeah.
adjust your playstyle. Like with the
Yeah.
Blaziken build as well. You have to adjust your playstyle and not play like you would with a normal attacker Blaziken
Oh,
build
I'm
because
talking about the same guy who plays that Blaziken
okay,
build. We're
okay.
fine.
So he's probably gonna adjust his playstyle. I'll mention how
Yeah.
as well. So the build is
Yeah.
drive lens and choice scarf and potion, and then you run side
Yeah.
strike and recover. You can send him this episode too and a timestamp exactly.
Yeah. That.
And the playstyle that you have to do is you have to play around the 3 hits for your choice scarf, because it gives you a lot of mobility. And once you get your 3rd hit in, you can use your recover, and then you just go like Mach speed. You can run away like so fast. It's crazy. Um, and you know that tech with Mewtwo where you can get another auto attack in if you use your side strike and then your teleport?
Yeah.
That also works with recover. So you can get one more auto attack in. And so try to do that as much as you can and try to play around the choice scarf getting procced. And you can actually control when it gets procced if you use any of your other abilities before your 3rd hit as well. So if you don't need that move speed yet, you can use one of your other abilities
Yeah.
and then you can save that move speed for later.
For sure.
The,
That's good. I think I have a question about the build.
yeah.
Is why drive lens as the third item? What's the reasoning behind that one?
Well, the theory is when Mewtwo Y goes into Mega, he gets a lot of special attack. And you're not trying to have a lot of special attack in the early game or mid game. You only want your special attack when you Mega Evolve, because that's when you get a huge boost. So trying to increase that is part of the strategy. The other strategy, there's three parts to it. The second part is that the cooldown reduction helps you use your side strike and your recover more often. I know it's like almost insignificant,
Yeah.
but if you want to build up your mega gauge, it does add up. There's like a ripple effect, and over the course of 20, 30 seconds, a minute, it could make a difference. And lastly, the playstyle that Mewtwo Y has, especially early game, is that you want to play really aggressive and hit the enemy to build up your mega gauge. And so if you're gonna do that, you might as well double down on that and try to get some early KOs in to get stacks on your drive lens. And because you have a drive lens, what you should be prioritizing is playing with your team to try to get KOs. Mewtwo Y is already bad at farming, so you should not be farming anyway. You should be trying to stack your drive lens. So you need to be in your team fights, you need to be hitting the enemy, you need to be playing very aggressively.
Yeah, I like that. I was just thinking about it because I was thinking on Mewtwo Y, I feel like I don't see Y's getting a lot of kills. But I think if you're playing specifically around like getting picks early, it might be. I don't know. I really like your build. I think if I was to do it, I would experiment with a third item as well as drive lens and like see what meshes better. But I do understand it for sure.
I did experiment quite a bit, trust me. I experimented with all sorts of stuff. The idea is like your ultimate hits everyone. So when there's a big team fight, you're gonna get a lot of stacks on your ring.
Sure. So what you're saying is it would be good for a team that team fights a lot, like our team.
Oh, I can
I
see you're
need to
getting
go
excited.
get my laptop charger. My laptop is like
Yeah.
really low, so I don't want it to die.
Go for it. Go
Be
for
back
it.
1 second. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Where does this plug in? Oh, right here.
All right.
No longer unplugged.
Nice. So yeah, you got to keep me updated and tell me how it goes. You can of course also watch my streams and watch me play it as well to get an idea of the playstyle that I use. I don't know. I think it works really well. Like I consistently get the most amount of damage on the team. I somehow take a lot of damage as well. Sometimes the most amount even. and I even heal a lot. And every time at the end, my teammates are like, "But imagine how much more damage you would have done with a normal build."
Yeah. No, I'm gonna definitely tell Seo about it. His favorite thing is like stat checking with tanky builds, so he's gonna love that.
Yeah.
He loves stat checking people.
I guess that's what I like to do as well.
He played like Big Root Palmont as well. I don't know if you've played like Palmont much, but I wouldn't recommend Big Root on Palmont. I think that was a little bit that I personally didn't think it did that much. But hey, that's just me. What are you gonna do?
I mean, if a character has self-healing,
it was alright.
It could. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what he says. And if you guys have other fun builds and stuff like that could work, I love experimenting. But yeah, let's actually start wrapping it up because I don't want to keep the episodes
Yep.
to be too long. But I have a few last questions. So the next question I have is, if you would change one thing in Unite, if you'd add something, remove something, improve something, what would be that one thing you would change?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I think okay. This is gonna can I say a cop out?
Do it. The Unite journey?
I would change developers.
Change developers. Just change
And then
developers.
everything can change.
Okay, that makes more sense because you're changing the root cause of the issue. But you know what?
Exactly.
The developers aren't necessarily, they're just following instructions. It's the decision
Yeah,
makers.
I actually I say that, but I do think that they get too much flack because they've also done so many good things over
I
the
agree. I agree.
course of the time.
There are a lot of things in this game that they do well, and a lot of small things
Yeah.
as well. For me, I would like I the history of this genre is very interesting because it originated from a custom map in a strategy game called Warcraft 3. So it came into existence because of the community, because of the people who played the game. And I think it would be amazing to have like a map editor tool in Unite where you can make your own maps, your own objective spawns, your own stat changes, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of these old games have like these map editor tools, and because of that, they have lasted an eternity. Like Warcraft, StarCraft, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, they all have these map editor tools, and they have a giant community behind them that keeps those games alive. Like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I don't know if you've ever played this game. It's a strategy game. Um, it's old. It's like 1990s or something, and the community made 2 or 3 expansions for the game. Literally, they made expansions for that game, and that game has like Heroes of Might and Magic 4 and 5, but people don't like those. They like the original 3.
That's a classic.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm gonna steal your answer now. It's better than mine. Make a map editor. I like that.
Yeah, because what I really want is ARAM. That's what I want.
Well, you can do that already. Just play 5v5 in like bot or top.
I know, but you don't have like a randomizer, you know? I mean, you can use
Oh,
some
that's true.
tool externally and whatever, but like in the original Dota, there was a option where you can choose a random character and you'd start the match with a little bit extra gold. So it was a really
That's
interesting.
really cool.
Yeah, so you had like an advantage if you didn't know who you were gonna play. I think it'll be fun. And I also played like League of Legends, Wild Rift, and all this other stuff. And they had something like that. They had like an ARAM mode. But the thing about it is that um, you could like re-roll your choice once or twice or something like that. And I didn't like that. Also, there should be like an option to randomize your character selection on a normal map as well. Because then you might start, instead of level 1, you start level 3 or 2. I don't know. Something basic like that.
Yeah.
All right. My last question is, who would you like to shout out to appear in the podcast? If you want, if anyone comes to mind, who do you think would be good to appear in the podcast? It could be like teammates, friends, anyone that's involved in
Someone to
Unite.
shout out to appear in the podcast.
Who?
Well, I have to think of what the funniest answer is.
Ah, no, come on.
Let's see.
Something legit. Someone that you think would want to be on the podcast.
Okay. Um, let me think about it then. Could be one of those guys. Okay, I have a backup in case I don't find anything better. You know what? I think I don't know if she'd want to or not, but I think you should I think Wailord. Shout out
Wailord.
Wailord, the goat, and Wailord on the podcast would be very fun. We need more V1.
Okay.
More V1 stuff out there. More IX, sorry. More IX stuff out there.
I will reach out to
Give
Wailord.
us more IX content, IX.
If
I
you
want to see the team. They're the goats.
if you have a good communication channel with him, maybe let him know that I'll be reaching out. But But yeah, I'll definitely
Sure.
I put it here in my notes. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he's down to do a podcast episode. I'm always looking
Yeah.
for
It's
people.
it's her, it's she her.
Oh,
She's
her. Sorry.
the support for IX Gaming in the Unite Pro League.
I'm gonna tell you, like, this is kind of bad, but I don't watch a lot of
Yeah.
pro and
Yeah,
game,
that's fine.
and I don't stay up to date with all the teams of who's who and all that. So
Yeah. What are you gonna do? That's my thing. I have like I wouldn't show it publicly, but I have like my spreadsheet here of like everyone on every team in NA on the second league and then in the first league and then
dang.
like all the yeah. That's definitely one of the things that I'm very focused on is like the pro circuit and that stuff because
Yeah. That's something I could be improving on, but it takes a lot of time, and I'm just trying to get good
yeah,
and stuff. I
no, it
mean, it
does.
could also help you get good, I have to admit, but there's an extent to which it can only go, because knowing all of those players by name and everything,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it'll help. But what was I gonna say now? I forget. Um, nope, I forgot. Anyway, I think
That's good.
we can go ahead and finish it here. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to Waylord and see what she says, if she's down to do a podcast episode. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, Max, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And if you
Yeah.
want to
Let me take us out. Let me take us out. I got this.
do it,
And boom, there it ends.
and boom, adios.